I haven't felt like a man in almost a decade, Doc. It's like the fire just went out. These were the devastating words from a 68-year-old man, a former firefighter, who felt his own vitality had been extinguished. Are you a man over 60? Do you ever feel a frustrating numbness below the waist, a crippling lack of energy, or notice that your erections are becoming a distant memory? You might chalk it up to getting older, a simple, unavoidable fact of life. But what if I told you that age isn't the real thief here? What if the culprit is hiding in plain sight on your breakfast plate every single morning? Hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found us. Please do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your journey to reclaiming your power starts right now, and you won't want to miss a single step. Most men are completely unaware that their morning meal is a silent battleground. Every bite either sends life-giving blood flow surging to your groin or slowly, insidiously chokes it off. The tragedy is that so many are missing out on a few simple, powerful foods that could dramatically turn the tide. I'm Dr. Olivia Carson, a men's health specialist with over 3 decades of experience focusing on urology and the performance decline that often comes with age. I've had the privilege of helping thousands of men across the country, men who walked into my office believing their days of intimacy and vitality were over for good. They were convinced that their story was finished. But what we discovered together was something far more powerful and hopeful. The truth is, your body is desperately trying to heal itself. It wants to restore powerful circulation to your lower body, but it can't do it alone. It needs the right tools, and I'm not talking about a magic pill or a costly prescription with a laundry list of side effects. I'm talking about 5 specific, simple morning foods. These are foods you already know, but you've likely never understood how to use them to specifically target and revitalize male circulation. In this video, I will show you exactly how. You are about to learn how 5 easy-to-find ingredients can amplify blood flow directly to where you need it most, strengthen the crucial tissues of your pelvic floor, and rebuild your confidence from the inside out naturally. Stick with me to the very end, because I'll reveal a unique combination of these foods that is helping men feel tangible results in less than a single week. Let's begin this journey back to your prime. Ingredient number 1, plain yogurt, nature's circulation starter. I couldn't even begin to count how many men, proud men in their 60s and 70s, have sat in the chair across from me, their eyes filled with a mixture of frustration, deep-seated embarrassment, and utter confusion. They all ask the same question: why doesn't anything work the way it used to? And almost without fail, when I ask them about their diet, particularly their breakfast, they just shrug. "Doc, I'm lucky if I have a cup of coffee," they'll say. "Maybe a piece of dry toast if I remember." What they fail to grasp is that their body, especially after the age of 60, is screaming for a very specific set of nutrients the moment they wake up. It's a critical window of opportunity, and one of the most potent sources of these nutrients is something they've probably walked past in the grocery store 1,000 times. Simple, plain yogurt. I know what you might be thinking. Yogurt? That's a light snack, something for kids or women on a diet. But let me be crystal clear. If you are a man over 60 and you are not making plain yogurt a regular part of your morning routine, you are actively neglecting one of nature's most effective and accessible tools for restoring blood flow and foundational strength to your entire lower body. The secret isn't magic, it's biology. It lies in a powerful trifecta of probiotics, protein, and calcium. The probiotics are like a cleanup crew for your circulatory system, reducing the chronic inflammation that can gum up your arteries and restrict blood flow. Meanwhile, the protein and calcium are the essential building blocks for your pelvic floor muscles. These are the very muscles that support powerful erections, give you control over your urinary flow, and keep you feeling steady and balanced. As circulation slows with age, these muscles are often the first to weaken and suffer. But the moment you start fueling them properly, especially first thing in the morning when they are most receptive, your body begins to respond in ways that will astonish you. You'll feel more stable on your feet. You'll notice that strange numbness or those random cramps start to fade away. And yes, you will begin to feel a surge of confidence in those intimate moments, not because of a chemical reaction from a pill, but because your body is finally getting what it needs to function properly. Your own blood is flowing freely once again. I'll never forget a patient of mine, John, a 65-year-old retired teacher. He confessed to me, his voice heavy with resignation, that he hadn't experienced a morning erection in over 2 years. He felt like a hollowed-out version of himself. I convinced him to make one small change. Every morning, without fail, he was to have a bowl of plain yogurt with a small drizzle of raw honey. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult. 4 weeks later, my phone rang. It was John, and his voice was electric, filled with a youthful disbelief I hadn't heard before. "Doc," he said, practically shouting, "I woke up this morning feeling like I was 35 again. I can't believe it." That, gentlemen, is the profound power of giving your body exactly what it needs at the exact time it needs it most. Ingredient number 2, quinoa with almonds, the artery cleaner. Whenever a man in his late 60s or 70s comes into my office, and his list of complaints is always hauntingly similar: poor circulation, weak or non-existent erections, that constant dragging, heavy feeling in his legs and lower body, I don't just look at his chart of medications. The first thing I ask is, tell me exactly what you ate for breakfast this morning. More often than not, the answer is either nothing or something loaded with sugar and empty carbohydrates, like a donut or a sugary cereal that gives a brief rush followed by a deeper crash. The alternative I propose seems so ridiculously simple that they often look at me with skepticism. But I tell them to trust me, because a simple warm bowl of quinoa topped with a handful of raw almonds has transformed more men's lives than you could possibly imagine. Quinoa, on its own, is a formidable ally for aging arteries. It is packed with magnesium and fiber. Think of magnesium as a relaxant for your blood vessels. It helps them open up, easing tension and dramatically improving blood flow. For any man over 60, this kind of circulatory support isn't just a nice bonus. It is absolutely essential for your vitality. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. Add a handful of almonds to that bowl, and something truly amazing happens. These nuts are a treasure trove of healthy fats, vitamin E, and powerful antioxidants. This combination works to soothe your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and allow for smoother, stronger, more powerful blood flow. This isn't just about heart health. This directly and profoundly impacts your ability to achieve and, just as importantly, maintain a healthy, firm erection. Are you finding this information valuable? If you're nodding your head and thinking of making a change, please take a moment to support the channel by liking this video and pressing 1 in the comments below. It truly helps us reach more men who need to hear this message. Now, let's get to a food that many have called nature's secret weapon for the bedroom. I think of Richard, a 69-year-old who felt his body was in a state of shutdown since he retired from his accounting firm. His energy was gone. Climbing the stairs left him breathless, and his intimate life with his wife had faded to nothing. I persuaded him to swap his morning bowl of sugary flakes for a bowl of warm quinoa with almonds, a few blueberries, and a dash of cinnamon. The results were not instantaneous, but they were steady and undeniable. Within 2 weeks, he told me his legs felt lighter, less like lead weights. Within a month, he was sleeping through the night and waking up with an energy he thought was lost to his youth. And he gleefully reported benefits both in and out of the bedroom. He chuckled during his follow-up call. "Doc, I never would have believed a bowl of what I used to call birdseed could do this. But here is the undeniable truth. What you choose to eat in the morning dictates the story of your blood flow for the entire day." This simple, warm, and mindful combination is a signal to your arteries, telling them it's safe to open up and nourish the muscles and nerves that help you feel like the man you are. Ingredient number 3, pomegranate, the bedroom fruit. I can still vividly picture the amused look on my patient Mark's face. Mark was 63. A recent widower, tentatively re-entering the dating world and feeling an immense amount of pressure and insecurity. When I suggested he start his day with pomegranate, he let out a laugh. "Doc, come on," he said. "I thought that was just a fancy, messy snack for parties." What he didn't know, and what the vast majority of men have no idea about, is that the humble pomegranate is one of nature's most potent and underrated tools for restoring blood flow, especially to the places that matter most for a man's confidence and identity. Pomegranate is bursting with a special kind of antioxidant called polyphenols. These compounds have a remarkable effect. They boost the production of nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide is the master molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open wide, allowing a surge of blood to flow to your groin. This is the exact same biological pathway that popular erectile dysfunction medications target. But here's the beautiful difference. Instead of using a synthetic pharmaceutical, you are fueling your body's own natural system with real food, and the results can be surprisingly fast. I have had countless patients report that they started noticing improved sensitivity and the return of strong morning erections within just 1 week of adding pomegranate to their daily routine. There is something incredibly empowering about allowing your body to do the job it was designed for. No synthetic pills, no unwanted side effects, just pure, unadulterated circulatory support delivered straight from your breakfast plate. Mark called me 2 weeks later. He wasn't laughing this time. "I don't know if it's the pomegranate or just the fact that I'm finally taking care of myself," he said, his voice tinged with awe. "But something is definitely waking up down there." We shared a knowing chuckle, but the truth is, he wasn't imagining it. The polyphenols were doing their job, opening his blood vessels and infusing his lower body with a renewed sense of life and vitality. For the best results, try to eat pomegranate on an empty stomach or just before your main breakfast. A handful of the fresh seeds or a small glass of pure, unsweetened juice is all it takes. If you've been searching for a natural way to feel more alive and energized below the waist, pomegranate might be the simplest, most refreshing tool you've been missing all along. Ingredient number 4, avocado with olive oil, the circulation stabilizer. Of all the simple dietary recommendations I've made over 3 decades, this is the one that consistently gets the most surprised reactions. "Avocado? For my circulation?" they ask, their brows furrowed in confusion. But when you truly understand what your body is going through in those first few crucial moments after waking up, it makes perfect, undeniable sense. Think about it. After an 8-hour fast while sleeping, your muscles, including those in your legs, your pelvis, and yes, the intricate tissues of your penis, are running on empty. Your blood vessels are craving nutrients to become flexible. Your muscles are desperate for energy, and your nervous system needs balance to fire correctly. A simple half of an avocado mashed with a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil can be the morning stabilizer your entire lower body has been crying out for. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, which are essential for keeping your arteries soft and flexible, not hard and brittle. They are also a powerhouse of potassium, which is critical for regulating blood pressure. And when you combine that with the potent anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants found in high-quality olive oil, you are giving your body the precise toolkit it needs to improve blood flow, regulate nerve impulses, and crucially, maintain nerve sensitivity, which can tragically diminish with age if we are not proactive. These nutrients are the bedrock of muscle contractions, circulation, and nerve health, all absolutely critical for male vitality. I had a patient named Walter, a tough 72-year-old retired construction worker. He came to me with a description that I hear all too often. He woke up every morning with heavy, numb legs that felt like they were filled with wet sand, accompanied by a persistent, dull ache deep in his groin. He had tried everything: stretching, expensive massages, even prescription medications that offered little relief. I suggested a ridiculously simple change. Before anything else passed his lips in the morning, before his coffee, before his toast, he was to eat half an avocado with olive oil and a glass of warm water. He looked at me as if I were crazy. It seemed too simple, almost insulting. But 3 days later, my phone rang. "Doc," Walter said, his gruff voice unable to hide his astonishment. "I don't know what's happening, but my legs feel lighter. I'm not leaning on the nightstand just to get out of bed anymore." There is something fundamentally healing about starting your day with real, whole food, something your body instinctively recognizes. It doesn't just mask symptoms, it restores balance from the deepest level, from the inside out. The humble avocado might seem unassuming, but when eaten this way, it works quietly and powerfully to restore circulation, balance your system, and put a new energy into every single step you take. Ingredient number 5, blackberries, the vitality booster. Now that we have covered 4 incredible foods that can help restore blood flow, strength, and energy to your lower body, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Because all the knowledge in the world means nothing if you don't take action. This final food is one that many men overlook in the produce aisle, yet it is an absolute powerhouse for your vascular and muscle health. I'm talking about blackberries. These small, dark, unassuming fruits are loaded with something called anthocyanins. Think of these as guardians for your blood vessels. They strengthen the vessel walls and dramatically improve arterial elasticity, allowing them to expand and carry more blood. They also contain a healthy dose of vitamin C and fiber, which further help to reduce inflammation and support overall muscle health. A patient of mine, Daniel, aged 66, was skeptical but decided to add a handful of blackberries to his morning yogurt. The result? He reported a noticeable improvement in his overall energy levels and, specifically, in the sensitivity in his groin area in less than a week. He told me, his voice full of wonder, "Doc, I never imagined something so small could make such a big difference." For the best results, add fresh or frozen blackberries to your yogurt, blend them into a smoothie, or simply eat them by the handful for breakfast. Your action plan, starting today. If you have watched this far, it tells me something incredibly important about you. You care. You are not willing to just coast through this chapter of your life, passively accepting whatever decline comes your way. You are still in the fight, and you are ready to reclaim what you thought was lost. The wonderful news is, you now have the tools, but tools are worthless if they are left in the toolbox. Real, lasting change begins the very moment you make a conscious decision to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Start small. This is not about a radical, unsustainable overhaul of your entire life. Tomorrow morning, make a simple commitment to yourself. Eat just one of the 5 foods we've discussed. That's it. Maybe it's the bowl of plain yogurt with a bit of honey. Maybe it's a handful of blackberries. Maybe it's a small bowl of quinoa with almonds. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to happen. Because what you eat in that first critical hour after waking up is one of the single most powerful choices you can make for your circulation, your confidence, and your independence. Do not skip breakfast anymore. Do not wait until you are starving or already feeling tired and behind on the day. Give your body the fuel it needs precisely when it's asking for help. That morning window is when your blood vessels are most responsive to nutrients. It's when your muscles are primed and ready to rebuild. This is how you break the vicious cycle of decline and begin to actively rebuild what you thought time had taken away forever. You may not feel a seismic shift overnight, but be consistent. In a few days, you might just feel a little more energy in your legs, a little more warmth in your groin, a little more strength in your steps, a little more responsiveness where it matters most to you. You might sleep more soundly. You might wake up feeling something you haven't felt in a very long time, a genuine sense of hope. And if there's a voice in your head telling you that it's all too late, that you're too old, I can tell you with the complete honesty and conviction of my 30-year career, it is not. I have personally witnessed men in their 60s, 70s, and even their late 80s completely transform their energy, their intimate lives, and their overall vitality by committing to this one simple principle: starting the day with purpose. So, the question is simple. Will you take that first small step tomorrow morning? Or will you let another day, another opportunity slip by, just hoping that things will somehow change on their own? Final message. If there is one profound lesson I have learned after decades of working with men over 60, it is this: aging itself does not rob you of your strength. It only takes what you are willing to give up. And far too often, the first thing we give up isn't our physical capability. It's our belief that meaningful change is still possible. I am here today to remind you with every fiber of my being that it absolutely is. You now know about 5 powerful morning foods: plain yogurt, quinoa with almonds, pomegranate, avocado with olive oil, and blackberries. These are not fads or gimmicks. They are real, whole foods that communicate directly with your body's biology. More importantly, you now understand exactly when and how to eat these foods for maximum impact. You recognize that how you choose to spend your first hour awake sets the tone for everything else: your vitality, your self-confidence, your security, and yes, even your relationships. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start. Start tomorrow. Claim your mornings. Let your breakfast work for you, turning every single bite into a powerful declaration that you are still the author of your own story. This is not the end. It's not even close. Your next great act begins at breakfast, and it starts with your choice to take back control. Thank you for joining me today. If you are ready to begin this new chapter, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and press 1 in the comments below to declare your commitment. You are not alone on this journey.